Let's welcome and turn over the showcase now to District Director Valerie Fuson.
Thank you, Kristy. And it's an honor for me to be here. As I contemplate, being here with, your district and the candidates, I reflect back on my journey from being a scared young person to starting out and thinking, oh, I just want to improve my speaking skills. And that's why I joined Toastmasters, and that's why probably a lot of you have joined also, and the candidates have joined. But there's something magical about Toastmasters, because you join to develop the speaking skills, and then all of a sudden, when you take that first step into leadership, you start to grow in a totally different direction than you could imagine. And that was what I had experienced. And as you step into leadership even more, you're starting to make connections with other people. You're starting to network and building those relationships and building those friendships. And the candidates are just now beginning to step into that role as division directors and the trio. And I think it's going to be so rewarding for them as they go through this, because I know some of the first people that I met as an area director, even before that, I'm still very good friends with them. And that is the gift that Toastmasters keeps giving, is continue to grow, develop your skills, but then also, mentoring back and giving back. And that's so important for us as leaders, and the candidates will be experiencing that also. So I congratulate them for taking this step, and let's go ahead and start our showcase. We will start the showcase now, and Senior Sergeant at Arms, will you please bring in the first candidate?
And she is here in the room. It is Holly.
She is there. I just pinned her.
Okay. Oh, that's Holly. Hi, Holly. Nominated candidates all. To begin our showcase, it is my honor to introduce you to the candidate for the Eastern Division Director, Effective Coaching Level 3, Holly Graham. Holly, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
I would like to do a closing statement.
Okay, that's great. So Holly, share with us the responsibilities of the division director and what is required for your division to become distinguished.
Thank you, Valerie. As division director, I believe my role is to be a facilitator between our clubs at the club level and at the area, and then also be the voice from the district that our club members can be accessible to. I find that to be one of the most important things that I can do in this role, because as we work together, we can really become a distinguished district. And the way to do that is to start at our very basic level of club, which is also the most important level in the district. In ways that I think that we can go ahead and do this in the division role is to have a lot of those conversations that may be painful at times about our membership numbers, perhaps our trained officer numbers, our participation in speech contests, but that gives us an opportunity to really vamp up all the different things that we would like to do to become distinguished. That is getting those educational awards, getting those speeches in, that is helping our officers achieve their own goals, that's getting our membership lists on time, that is ensuring that we have a strong membership base of all those emerging leaders that we have coming forward. So in an Eastern Division Director role, I want to be that voice, that advocate for our group that can work between the district and our club members so that we can both work towards the same mission. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Holly. And how will you keep your team focused to achieve the area, division, and district success levels?
I plan to do this with timely reviews of the resources we have at hand, which mainly is the dashboard. We have so many resources within that tool in the Toastmasters toolkit that we're able to look at where our clubs need help. And I think as a team with the division director and the area directors, we can really specialize where our clubs are struggling the most and where we can help them out, whether that be with club mentorship, whether that is helping them with membership campaigns, but taking a look at those metrics, seeing what we've got ahead of us and what the roadmap is to get us to that distinguished level. So I really hope to utilize that dashboard and then also to utilize just the concerns of our club members and then knowing what they are concerned about and then throwing our resources to help them achieve that so that they are successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. And what is the mission of the district and how will you work to fulfill that mission?
So the district's mission, I believe, is going to be very similar to what we've had in the past, and that is to ensure that we are creating this environment with our club members that will help them achieve their leadership and communication skills. It's very similar to what we have done with the Toastmasters organization as a whole. We do not deviate too far from it, but though our goals and maybe our metrics may change from time to time, I know that we have the resources at hand to get everything needed to achieve the district mission. I'm not entirely familiar with what those new incoming values look like, but I do have my own personal set goals that I think would help align with those missions, which is to increase our membership to at least 10 to 15% more, make sure that we're reaching about 75% of all of our club officers trained, and at least getting club participation on a basic level to join all of our speech contests so we can have that well-rounded membership base. And so that's what I plan to do and how I think what my goals would be for the Eastern Division would help align to what the district's mission would be in the 2023-2024 year.
Thank you, Holly. And could you describe a leadership challenge that you faced and the leadership lesson you learned from it?
Thank you. A leadership lesson or challenge that I faced is always just trying to make sure that I am providing all of the support that's necessary. In my current work role, that can change from day to day depending on who I would face here, would be to understand the culture of each of the clubs and make sure that I am providing the appropriate amount of leadership and collaboration effort with them. That could be how I communicate with the clubs. That could be how I am able to create a consistent message all the way through and through to make sure we are all in communication and have that line open for any changes that we have. I'd like to pause now and do a closing statement.
Yes, go ahead.
So okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing your time to learn more about me, Holly Graham, and my candidacy for the Eastern Division Director role. All the goals that I've set, I know may be ambitious at times, but I believe that they are achievable and that they do align with the mission statements. I do look forward to meeting with a lot of our emerging leaders that are coming through, because even though Eastern Division is very large and geographical, the technology that we have at our hands and the collaboration and creative minds that we have at our fingertips only brings us closer together. And I really look forward to continue with the work of our previous division directors who have really made the success of the division well known within District 50. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. I am proud to introduce your candidate for Frontier Division Director, Distinguished Toastmaster MJ Presley. MJ, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
No, ma'am, not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Share with us the responsibilities of the division director and what is required for your division to become distinguished.
To be a distinguished division director, then you need to work with all of your area directors to make sure that their clubs are not only distinguished, but they are working hard to even add new clubs to their division to help them to grow as leaders as well. The number one process for me is the member. I believe that if we grow the member, we will grow the club. And if we grow the club, we can grow the area, and the area will grow the division. Ultimately, our number one responsibility is to the member of the clubs to help them to learn and to grow and enjoy the journey of pathways in Toastmasters. To accomplish this, we work hand in hand. We don't work alone. As someone once said, it takes a village. Well, it takes many Toastmasters to help one another. Madam Moderator.
Thank you. And how will you keep your team focused to achieve the area, division, and district success?
One of the things that I have learned from this year is that by working hand in hand with my team, being available to them, as well as holding meetings to explain what's going on, sending emails to communicate, find out how's the best way they would like to communicate one with another as well. Some prefer text, some prefer phone calls, some prefer LinkedIn, whatever that situation is, meet the needs of that area director and help them to stay focused, not only with what's going on in the district and division, but more importantly, for me to understand what's going on in their area and their clubs. Communication is the key.
Thank you. And what is the mission of the district and how will you work to fulfill that mission?
The district mission: to build new clubs and to support all clubs. How do we do this? By encouraging our clubs and the members to reach out to their companies and see about adding Toastmasters and explaining how Toastmasters can help them. It is not just a matter of knocking on the door. It takes time, it takes work, and it takes selling yourself. What I mean by that is we have a product called Toastmasters. It will sell itself. What we have to do is sell how Toastmasters has helped us to learn and to grow, helped our companies to learn and grow, and how it can help them and their company as well. It takes working together to build a new club.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge that you faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
Just one?
For now.
There's many opportunities to learn. And one of my biggest opportunities to learn was to trust and let go and not demand response from my fellow Toastmasters and leaders, to give them a chance, sometime to fail, so that they can learn. I learned a long time ago, and Toastmasters had proven it true, that it's not about me. What I've learned through this is that if I give somebody else the opportunity to grow, they will grow. And more importantly, I will learn from them if I open up and allow myself to do so and not demand that they do it my way, because my way isn't always the right way. And I've learned that this year.
Thank you. Describe a situation when your mentoring has led to improved performance by a member of your team.
Mentorship is one of the most important parts of the Toastmaster education program, and one that we don't emphasize enough as far as I'm concerned. To take someone under your wing, a mentor, and then you grab your mentee, you pull them aside, and you find out what is it that they want to learn in their pathway and get to where they want to go. You help them each step of the way. One of my mentees was Wael Habu, who later went on to be a division director before I was. I don't mind watching somebody step up the ladder ahead of me, knowing that I at least made it easy for them. Madam Director.
Thank you. Share with us your experience using the Toastmasters dashboard.
One more time, please.
Share with us your experience using the Toastmasters dashboard.
Experience using the Toastmasters dashboard has been a learning experience for me. To learn how to navigate it, and I thought I had it down, then guess what? They changed it. And I have a feeling that I'm going to get this one down, and they're going to change it again. However, the changes have not been bad. They have helped me to be able to stay focused on what my areas are doing and where I need to help them to reach their goal to make their area at least distinguished this year. I say that because, as many of you know, I have stepped in to help as Frontier Division Director when the previous director had to step.
Thank you, MJ. Hi, Rhonda. Would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
I will. Thank you. As a Metro Division Director, I would support District 50's mission as well as Toastmasters. And I would do it in 3 ways. In collaborating and engaging with the team of Metro area directors, because each director brings their own unique experience, their skills and expertise to the team. And as a collective leader that I am, I like to appreciate each person and empower them to perform their responsibilities and their duties in building new clubs and supporting the area clubs. Secondly, I would encourage members in their own personal education progress to communication and leadership, which will often translate into an opportunity for professional advancement. And third, I would like to guide and support clubs in their membership and education growth towards a President's Distinguished Club. Thank you.
Thank you. Share with us the responsibilities of the division director and what is required for your division to become distinguished.
Well, as a division director, I'm to work with the area directors, and we are to provide reports as to the status of what the clubs are doing in their growth, in their education. Well, also to see what there might be, their club success plan would be to work towards a distinguished or select distinguished or president distinguished club. What I'm also doing is to support the club, District 50 and its growth and its activities that they do, engaging in conferences and club contests and contests at the area, division, and district level. It's in pulling together and working as a team of all our members in the Metro Division to support each other and District 50. Thank you.
Thank you. And how will you keep your team focused to achieve area, division, and district success?
I would plan to have at least monthly meetings or as meetings as needed with the metro area directors, discuss and seek out their experiences with their various clubs that they are visiting, find out who are the stronger clubs, find out what the clubs that may need some more attention in developing their membership or encouraging their education requirements. Are they working pathways? Are they participating in club activities, and also encouraging them to step outside that club and to participate in area contests, division contests, whether there are contestants or roles that are very necessary for those contests to take place. Also, we need participants in our conferences so that these are exciting, informative, educational, and fun. Thank you.
Thank you. And what is the mission of the district, and how will you work to fulfill that mission?
The District 50's mission is to build new clubs and to support all clubs and appreciate achieving excellence. And as I said, I would be a collaborative leader, encouraging, first of all, the metro area directors, seeing that they have the equipment, the skills, the information necessary to carry out what their duties are. Also, I want to see that the members are growing professionally and personally in their communication skills and leadership skills. Again, are they working pathways? Are they giving prepared speech? And every speech is a speech that is towards pathways. No one speaks free, as the prior immediate past director said. Also, that these people that the members are participating in leadership as area directors in their clubs and in other tasks to undertake within the district. Also, meeting towards their goals of being in the growth of helping establish new clubs as well as maintain the current club membership. Thank you.
Thank you. And describe a leadership challenge you have faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
One of the challenges I have encountered is getting everyone on board. I think that the biggest challenge came as serving as the District 50 Chief Judge. And that was training members and encouraging members to serve as chief judges and contest judges. It was a matter of strategically scheduling everybody to serve as a chief judge and their availability. It was also encouraging other people to come forward and serve as judges. So I thought.
Thank you, Rhonda. Hi, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
Yes. Hi, my name is Brian. It's an honor here to be the candidate for the Plain Division Director. I have been in Toastmasters since 2015. I still remember my first meeting. People called me up for a table topic. I froze. After only July, I run back to the audience, and with the support from the coach, the club officer, I gradually improved myself over time. And really, Toastmaster was the best thing that ever happened to me. And here I am today, running for the division director. I want to give back. Also, I want to improve myself. For Toastmaster, I have served all the officer roles possible, multiple clubs. I also have been a Area 75 director. Last year, it was a wonderful experience where I serve between the link. I'm the link between the club and the district. Support multiple club, area contests, and here I am, sitting here. I'm running for the division director. Also, I am an engineering leader in the outside. I create and follow processes. I believe the same thing can be applied to Toastmaster division director role, where I can process out everything, what need to be done, by when need to be done, and how to do it. Everything can be documented. And if I am elected, I will document everything about this role, what to do, when to do, and how to do it, and pass it along to the district. I promise to keep the clubs, the area staying healthy. I am ready for the next level. Thank you. That's my statement.
Thank you. Share with us the responsibilities of the division director and what is required for your division to become distinguished.
The important thing about the division director role was I will serve as a link between the area and the district. I will support all the area, keep the area stay healthy, keep the club healthy also, and to make become a distinguished division, I need to support my area become a distinguished area, right? And it will go all the way to the club level. So I will be there whenever they need me, coach them. Since I am already an area director myself, I know what need for an area to become distinguished. I will support them, tell them upfront, right? When I step into the role as an area director, I do not know what need to be done to become a distinguished area. So here I am, I will tell, I will translate, I have the document, and I will tell my area director, okay, if you want to be distinguished, this is the process that you can follow. Any club that begin to fall behind, we need to tackle immediately at that moment. Don't wait too long, it will break out, and the club will eventually go down very quickly. So when it starts to happen, pull in multiple people from other area, I plan to get all my area directors, not only running their area, but we form together a circle like that to support each other to grow. That's how I envision to run my division.
Thank you. And how will you keep your team focused to achieve the area, division, and district success?
Processes again, document, know what to do, when to do it. To focus, for example, if we begin to go into the contest, right? What need to be done 2 months before? Follow up with each area director, what need to be done, what that need to be done, when they need to finish. And along the way, right, 2 months before, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks before the contest. That's how I plan to keep everyone focused by continuous follow-up and define exactly very clear what need to be done, and then follow up, continue to follow up. That's how I plan to stay very focused.
Thank you. And what is the mission of the district, and how will you work to fulfill that mission?
The mission of the district is to empower Toastmaster, and I do plan to support the area, but also down to the very club level. So if a club has any issue, I can also personally join or asking all the people to join and support that club. Down to the individual level, I plan to build a personal connection with each people. Every Toastmaster is important, and later on they can go back and also support the district also. So being the link that support, be the link between the district and the area and the club level. That's how I see it.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge you have faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
One of the most challenging, I encountered a club before where all the members actually fighting against each other like this, and that's the most challenge situation that we encountered before. That is when we sit down and see the core member. I remember the very first club that I joined, down to the only four members at that time. I only joined about 2 months. I step up, become the president, but that's when I contact the club coach, club mentor, and we build back the club. So within about 6 months,
Thank you, Brian. Hello. Sarfaraz, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
I'll give a few remarks at the end.
Okay, thank you. Share with us the responsibilities of the division director and what is required for your division to become distinguished.
Thank you. First of all, I appreciate you joining us in this important candidate showcase meeting. What's required of the division? Governor works with the district trio to make sure that the division is successful. By division being successful, it means that the members within the division are satisfied, their needs are being met, they are happy being part of Toastmasters. In case of Southern Division, what I see is right now the membership is very important. Many clubs have members who are giving speeches and they're getting credit for educational goals within the Distinguished Club program, but many clubs have achieved maybe 5, 6, or 7 goals, but unfortunately they might not be distinguished because of lack of membership requirements. Either they're not a charter strength, or if they were less than 20 members, they don't have a net gain of 3. So the way I see is to help the divisions, maybe I hope hold speech crafts, joint meetings, community meetings, etc., to bring in new members so that the clubs are not struggling from a membership point of view. And also making sure that while we are adding new members, we are retaining. Because I've seen some clubs, they are successful in getting new members, but at the same time, they also lose the ones that they already had. And so the net gain is 0. So the way I see is to help meet the needs of the members within the division and the area directors and work with the district trio to ensure that the district goals and objectives are being met.
Thank you. And how will you keep your team focused to achieve the area, division, and the district success?
One is a way to keep them focused is communication, making sure that the information from the district trio is being passed on to them, and their information being passed up the chain to the district trio, is to send out emails on a regular basis, letting them know what events are coming up, what their needs are, and as division governor, working closely with the area directors, making sure that their needs are being met, having regular meetings with the area directors to see what are their accomplishments within the clubs in their areas and what are their needs, where they are struggling, and work to help them. And if I need help, then work with the district trio to find that help to provide to them. So working with the area directors and the trio and making sure there's communication between them, monitoring the dashboard, Distinguished Club program to see what the needs are, where the clubs are. Sometimes the clubs don't even know they're very close to being distinguished. They just need 1 new member, for example, and they fail to meet that requirement on 30th June. So it's to making sure from the very start to stay focused on the Distinguished Club program, needs of members. And one is I'll probably do a survey of the members with the help of the area directors within the division to see what are their needs.
Thank you. And what is the mission of the district and how will you work to fulfill that mission?
Mission of the district is to maintain healthy clubs, work with the clubs, meet the needs of the members within the district. And my objective as a division governor would be to ensure that the goals of the district being distinguished are met while working with the members of areas within our division. So if areas are successful within the division, it means the division is successful. And if the divisions are successful, it'll ensure that the district is successful. So best way to do that is to make sure that I act as a link between the district trio and the area directors and club officers within the division.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge you have faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
Well, the challenge would be that there are different leadership styles, and the same leadership style does not apply to everyone. For example, if I act as a leader that's watching over someone's shoulders, you can do that with somebody that's new. For example, a new club officer or a new employee doesn't know what to do or how to do it, they lack direction, that's fine. But you cannot do that with an experienced employee or experienced Toastmaster. So the challenge would be to make sure that I'm applying situational leadership style that works best with whether the person is a new Toastmaster or an experienced Toastmaster. And also finding out what exactly they need, because the same motivation techniques do not work with everyone. So making sure that what makes the person wake up when it comes to getting up to give a speech. What makes someone say, yes, I'll take on this role within the club or within a contest, for example, in the division. So leadership lessons that I've learned, I can apply those, working with different types of people within the club's areas and division, applying situational leadership to ensure that I'm applying the right leadership style with the right person and using the right motivation techniques with the Toastmasters within the division.
Thank you, Sarfaraz. Thank you. Hi, Akash. Would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
Hi, I don't have an opening statement. I'd like to go ahead and get started with the questions that you have.
Okay, thank you. Share with us the responsibilities of the division director and what is required for your division to become distinguished.
As a division director of the Town North Division, my responsibilities will be to include managing and maintaining base clubs in every area in each of those 5 areas that are in the Town North Division, making sure that members are participating in area and club contests to prepare for the division contests and the district contests, and then also make sure members are participating at district events. And as a division director, I will check the dashboard on a weekly basis to make sure that the areas are performing where they need to perform, and make sure that I can provide whatever is needed to the areas through a one-on-one meeting if anything like that is needed, and make sure that I can provide as much support that I need to the area directors so that they can support the clubs that they manage. And with that, by managing the clubs and the areas together, I can make the division stronger and help achieve the distinguished status that is needed for the division.
Thank you. And how will you keep your team focused to achieve the area, division, and district success?
In order to make sure that my team of area directors, assistants, and whoever is part of my team, to make sure that they're all on board to achieve the goals of the areas, divisions, and for the district, I will maintain a record of performance through the dashboard, take note of what areas for improvement could be used on a monthly basis for each area, follow up with the area directors on how to implement those areas for improvement, and then work with my team as a whole to share ideas amongst ourselves and also collaborate with other division directors to see if they have any perspective to help the Town North Division grow as a whole.
Thank you. And what is the mission of the district, and how will you work to fulfill that mission?
Well, the mission of the district is to support all clubs in achieving success. And to do that, what I hope to do as the Town North Division Director is to work with the area directors, not only in the Town North Division, but also in other divisions, to share our ideas and get perspectives from others to potentially help all of us throughout the district to achieve all our goals as leaders of District 50. Because what I believe in is that if all of us put in the effort together as a team to support each other's goals in areas or divisions, we have a higher chance of achieving the goal of as a district.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge you have faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
A leadership challenge that I experienced several terms back was when I was the club treasurer for the University Toastmasters of Dallas. As the club treasurer, we had an issue with our bookstore books and we could not access them. So what I did as the club treasurer then, I communicated with my team of officers, as well as the area director and then admin manager, to make sure that we could get that our bookstore books accessible for the club's spring conference at the time when it was spring 2022. And when I did that, we were able to swiftly get the responses that we needed and get the bookstore books that we needed for the spring conference. And we were able to make a purchase just within just a week after I got the issue resolved with the admin manager and the district.
Thank you. Describe a situation with your mentoring when your mentoring has led to improved performance by a member of your team.
During my time as a club president of the University Toastmasters of Dallas, many of the members wanted guidance on how to improve themselves as public speakers and become more confident through pathways. So what I often did was I had to sit down with each member who was interested in pursuing a pathway or was interested in trying something new for the club. And I would just talk with them about what they want to do with their path in terms of Toastmasters, because every person's journey with Toastmasters is different. So I wanted to make sure that I'm tailoring to their needs. And as a result, more members were swiftly going into their pathways and progressing through their pathways. And as a result, we were able to achieve many of the DCP goals that are listed in each club's DCP report on the dashboard. And that is the result of my mentorship for the members.
Thank you. Share with us your experience in using the Toastmasters dashboard.
My experience using the Toastmasters dashboard has heavily been a result of my time as the assistant area director for Area 65 in District 50. And what I usually do with the report is I go in about once a month to see how each club is progressing. And I oftentimes see how many people have actually submitted their reports or pathways, because with the dashboard, you can see how many people have submitted certain levels of completion for each of the pathways that they're completing. And that way I can go back when I visit a club on the area director's behalf to tell them, okay, you may need to improve or have more people do this particular level, or have people start a new pathway so that you can start getting those goals up and reach those DCP goals that we need. So that is my experience with using the DCP dashboard.
Thank you. This changed. Thank you. Thank you, Akash. I will now be facilitating the club growth portion of the interviews, moving on to the nominated candidates for the office of Club Growth Director. Our first candidate, Distinguished Toastmaster Denise Castille, has chosen to give a 2-minute statement. Club Growth Director candidate DTM Denise Castille.
Greetings, District 50. As a nominated candidate for Club Growth Director, I am both thrilled and honored to have the opportunity to serve in this capacity. My Toastmasters journey started in 2019, and since then, I have served in multiple club officer roles. I've been an area director, division relations chair, and I've held the role of quality education chair twice. Additionally, I was privileged to serve as co-leadership learning chair. I created an engaging district new member orientation class, and I was named part of the district for 2020-2021. My experiences as a full-time business owner and founder and executive director of a nonprofit organization have taught me valuable lessons in effective communication, leadership, and growth. As club growth director, I am confident that focusing on these three areas, ripple connection, ripple reach, and ripple expansion, will not only help us increase the number of clubs in District 50, but it will also help us improve member retention and support the growth of our members as communicators and leaders. Fellow Toastmasters, if elected, I promise to dedicate myself to supporting your aspirations and empowering you to become the best version of yourselves. I'm committed to working tirelessly alongside you to help you achieve your goals and reach new heights in your personal and professional development. Together, let's create a ripple effect of growth and success throughout our district. I humbly ask for your vote on May 4th. Thank you.
Thank you. The Club Growth Director candidate, Distinguished Toastmaster Leslie Gibeault. Sorry. Gibeault. The candidate, Leslie, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
I would like to save that for a closing statement, if you don't mind.
Sure, thank you. Share with us the responsibilities of the Club Growth Director.
My responsibilities as Club Growth Director would include creating a district marketing plan. Also, I will be responsible for growing new clubs and stabilizing the clubs that we currently have and increasing the membership within those clubs.
Thank you. Share with us your experience in the club chartering process.
My current role as on the club growth team is the strategy and analytics chair. I have little responsibility in the chartering process other than my current home club, Speech Please. I am a charter member within that club. So I was able to experience chartering that club from the very beginning. So I helped out with being a part of that club's charter process. So we, met, became a club from the very beginning. So I helped charter, we went through the whole process from the beginning to becoming a club. So that's my experience of being part of that charter process. On the current club growth team, I haven't been able to experience the charter process. That's not part of my responsibility on the current club growth team, but I'm excited to be a part of it going forward and as the club growth director. Thank you.
Thank you. How will you promote methods? How will your promotion methods differ depending on your target group, target group, to corporations, to community clubs, to the younger market, the 25 to 35-year-olds?
So we've been working this year with David Adams, who is one of our members. He has put together a corporate playbook. We are currently testing that with one of our company clubs, and we are ready to roll that program out to additional companies across the District 50, and we're very excited about that. That is going to help us with our company clubs across the district. And it is a very extensive program and works step by step with the company organizations to strengthen them and help grow those company clubs within the district. That's how we're going to work with the company clubs. For the 25 to 35 age groups, I want to sit down with the current members that are in that age group, talk to them about what draws them, what keeps them within the district, and specifically market to that age group based off of what we discover in talking with them. I have a plan for rolling out social media platforms beyond what we currently have in the district. There's some opportunities with Eventbrite. It might not work for all of our clubs, but some of the clubs that are currently on Eventbrite have found great success in getting people into their clubs. There's opportunities in several other social media marketing that we haven't even tapped into. So I want to start rolling that out across the district where it's appropriate and where the clubs are comfortable.
Thank you. Please provide a specific example of a time when you developed a strategic plan and it was implemented successfully. That's strategic thinking.
Thank you. During COVID, it was discovered, and this is the work example, but it's a good example. During COVID, it was discovered that there was a process gap, and I was put in charge of working with some senior level executives because it was a very sensitive situation. And there was multiple sites involved, multiple senior level executives, including all the way up to our CEO. The project needed to be implemented within a couple of months and had to be handled with obviously delicate situation. I had to think strategically, I had to think quickly, I had to roll it out very fast, and obviously it had to be done with, you know, a lot of people involved. And I had to, you know, strategically roll this out when people were at home, people were, you know, not available to be in the office, and it was something that had to be handled very quickly. All in all, it worked out well. I have rolled it out. It worked out, and it's successful to this day. So it was something that you know, it was a success, and it was handled very very quickly.
Thank you.
I see the green light coming on. I would like to give my closing statement if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So at this point, I just wanted to let everyone know I'm very passionate about club growth. I'm passionate about District 50. I'm passionate about our members. I'm asking for everyone to please think about where we want to go. We're through with COVID, and we would really like to, I would really like to focus on the planting new ideas, growing new clubs, cultivating new members, and I'm asking for your vote for Leslie Gibeault as your club growth director for the 23-24 Toastmaster year. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Leslie. Hi, Kimberly. Kim, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
I would. I wanted to read something that a sweet friend of mine sent me, and it's called A Toastmaster's Journey. And I think it's really relevant for us this year and just in general as we're all becoming leaders and evolving. I wasn't born a leader. They were all around me though. In the community, at work, at school, leaders were everywhere. They were the heads of families, coaches of teams, business leaders, mentors, organizational decision makers. I admired these leaders. They influenced who I was and who I was becoming. Whatever they did professionally or how they became what they were, I aspired to walk in their footsteps. And so I committed myself to becoming one. Finally, it came to me. It wasn't just what leaders knew that enabled them to lead. They had a voice. They could tell their story. They could listen and answer. They didn't just accomplish, they communicated. So I set out to find my voice, learn to process information on my toes. I needed to learn to listen. I learned to give feedback and accept it. I needed to organize, plan, deliver, and follow up. I needed a place where all of the ingredients were there and someone would guide me along the way. I found that place. I found a community of learners and a path to leadership. I am a leader, and I was made. Back to you.
Thank you. Describe your responsibilities as a program quality director.
My roles and responsibilities are going to be many and great. I will be in charge of at least 2 TLIs and learning education sessions throughout the year, a fall and spring event, so some type of education session in the fall and a conference in the spring, as well as running contests in the fall and the spring in District 50, and finding staff and people to help us cross that finish line and put on amazing information and educational sessions for our members.
Thank you. Share with us an example of your communication style when managing teams and people.
My communication style evolves, and I think honestly, your communication style should be different with different people. I think a lot of times we forget that not everybody communicates or receives communication the same way. So it's really important as a leader to understand, do you prefer text or do you like emails? Do you want to have a phone call? Do we need to do a Zoom call every time, or can we just do a quick catch up on a call? So learning what your team needs or your peers like and evolving and matching that will always help and improve that communication and delivery of information to your team.
Thank you. How will you encourage strong commitment by clubs to the Distinguished Club Program?
I think that that's going to be something that program quality will be able to do through educational sessions. I think it's about continuing to educate people on areas such as base camp, how to process pathways, not only in the tool, but also in the Club Central area. And a lot of clubs still get confused about that. I know that we experienced that this year just through one of the trainings I helped do. So I think that's going to be one of the areas that we'll be able to foster additional learning and pathway connection. And I think it's another thing that we can offer through a TLI. We can offer pathways information and have a pathway mentor. I don't think that should go away, because I've talked with members before just recently this year, and they still are a little bit confused. And what's next when I finish my first level or my first path, and what does that look like?
Thank you. How will you balance staying in your own lane as a program quality director and providing support to your fellow TRIO members?
I love that question. Staying in my own lane. Sometimes that can be a hard thing for some of us, right? We love to help and we just want to be there to support people. And I think it's really important to ask, again, would you like help? Would you like my assistance? And if they don't need it, it's okay to stay in your own lane too. And I think that having the fortitude to do that is going to be really critical. And I think what's also great is I love to cross collaborate. So I'm not afraid or shy of asking for help or receiving it from other areas within our district or leadership.
Thank you. And how will you promote Pathways participation in the district next year?
Well, I think that would be really great would be to continue to have promotions around Pathways. I think that when we can incent people, whether that's through bookstore bucks or banner ribbons or anything like that, that would be something that could potentially be a needle mover. And then asking clubs, what do they want? Asking what will inspire you or motivate you to adopt more of the Pathways program.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge you have faced and a leadership lesson you learned.
I think it was when I was supposed to get a promotion. I was supposed to apply for a job and get a promotion. And my peer and friend, she was actually a manager at the time, came up to me and was like, "Can I have a talk with you? I think I know why your manager's not talking to you right now." And it was basically, she was promoted to be a director. And I had a really big decision to make. Do I cut and run? Do I say I'm out? Do I leave the company? Or is there a lesson for me to be learned here? And I ended up staying, and I did eventually get the same promotion that I was after. We grew the team by half and increased it. Actually, we doubled it. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I think that it was a huge lesson teacher for me and a part of my growth journey. If it's okay with you, I'd like to summarize and give a closing statement as I see the yellow card.
Sure.
District 50, I am just so excited to move into the program quality role with you in this coming year. We're going to do great things. I couldn't be more excited for what's to come and the sessions and education and growth that we're going to see together and experience. I'm excited and ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. To continue our showcase, we move now to the two nominated candidates for district director. I am pleased to introduce your nominated candidate for the office of District 50 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Manny Garcia.
Hi, good evening.
Manny, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
Yes, I'd like to give an opening message and then I can take questions after that. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Fellow Toastmasters, I am Manuel Manny Garcia. I've had the pleasure of serving you in the Senior 3 for the past couple of years. As your past club growth director, we chartered the largest club, organ of Toastmasters, in District 50, growing from 84 members within the first 30 days. We launched a club growth technology team that helped 20% of our clubs transition to hybrid meetings. And we launched our very first Division Stars program, where we recognize our silent heroes who went above and beyond, 42 in total. Currently, as your program quality director, I have led the team in spotlighting our Southern Division by hosting our Fall Summit 2022 in Duncanville. We exceeded the TLI goals for officers trained in both summer and winter. And next week, the district contest will be back in person since the pandemic. As an immigrant from Belize, I know what it means to trust the process in building my American dream for my family and as a business owner, all while serving the district and its members. I'm running to be your district director, not for a title, not to check a box, but for you. Some of us are not engaged and not feeling motivated. And it's time for us to get back to the basic and recommit to our Toastmasters core values of respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Toastmasters should not be steeped in corporate work culture and hierarchy. This should not feel like the daily grind, rather an escape from all that. Please join me in recalibrating our culture to be D50 strong. I plan to collaborate with you to do just that as your next district director. I encourage you to visit my campaign website, Manny.today, to learn more about the things I want to do to elevate your experience as your next district director. Feel free to book time with me. I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Manny. Describe your responsibilities as a district director.
My responsibilities as a district director is to keep my team engaged, all senior leaders in the trio, in Senior 7 division directors, so we can all collaborate together for the success of the district from a club standpoint, building new clubs and strengthening clubs to be successful and accomplished within the members and club, area, division, and district overall. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your understanding of the district director's financial responsibility?
The district financial responsibilities is to establish a budget and to maintain expenses within that budget, and to work with teams, to work the senior teams, to engage other activities to keep within that budget, or if there is a need for more money, then we need to readdress the budget. Bottom line is to maintain that budget and make sure that, and also to grow our finances, meaning by growing more members. The more members that we grow, the bigger budget we have. The bigger budget we have, the more we can do for the members of this district. So that would be my general responsibility of the budget for this district.
Thank you. How will you leverage technology to assist district leaders in achieving their goals?
I would leverage technology in many ways. But in today's world, such a dynamic world, there's so much technology that exists out there that we can utilize from a video, from an audio, from even different training standpoint to make clubs more successful, to engage members so that they can feel a part of it. Use technology to their advantage is to all of our availability. And with that, leveraging the success of the district and the clubs and the members of District 50.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge you have faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
A leadership challenge that I faced is when members are not engaged or trying to help in activities for the district. It is a big challenge that we're facing actually today for volunteers, for a conference, and for our major events. How do I get around that? I reach out to clubs, I reach out to officers of clubs, and to show them that your contribution.
Thank you, Manny. Your nominated candidate for the office of District 50 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Kellie McMaster. Kellie, would you like to give an opening statement before starting?
No, ma'am. I'd like to go to questions and then have about 30 seconds for a closing statement.
Okay, thank you. Describe your responsibility as a district director.
My responsibility as district director is oversight of district activities. I also am to empower, motivate, inspire our servant leaders, those who have chosen to serve District 50. I'm also responsible for the finances of the district, which are very important. That oversight is something that I'm used to. I did that in my career, and I continue to work on financial oversight. Of course, my favorite part is to work with the clubs and our members. And if there once in a while happens to be a tiny dispute, it is, of course, my responsibility to help resolve those disputes.
Thank you. What is your understanding of the district director's financial responsibility?
My understanding is that I am ultimately responsible for the district budget. I will work with the team to create that budget. I will also require certain approvals from the team members in order to spend that money. And I am required to report to Toastmasters International certain documents, forms, oversight, and set the folks who will be our financial manager and also our audit team who will audit us. And I am really looking forward to that. Like I said, I have done this in my career. And while Toastmasters financial documents are not as intuitive as we like. The last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to dig into that and learn how it works and how we can best spend the district's money.
Thank you. How will you leverage technology to assist district leaders in achieving their goals?
We have quite a bit of technology now. We also, as a district, we use, of course, Discord and Facebook to communicate. We've also, this year, we expanded it a little bit more into Instagram so we can communicate with our members. There are opportunities for us to expand our technology. One of them being, I would like to see a more automated approval process for spending district funds to create different approval levels. And they come automatically instead of in an email, because they can get lost in an email. I don't know about anybody else, but I get hundreds of them a day, and things sometimes get misplaced. I'd also like to see, as a district, that we use a little bit more automation as a tool to communicate amongst the leadership team as a whole, so the entire team knows what's going on at all times. I think there are times where things are being pushed up and pushed down, and again, things get missed. And this way, we're all on the same page, kind of rowing in the same direction.
Thank you. Describe a leadership challenge you have faced and the leadership lesson you learned.
Well, in my career, I've faced many of them. If you work in corporate America long enough, you will definitely face challenges. I worked for the electric industry, and we were acquired by Berkshire Hathaway. And part of my leadership challenge with my team was they did things a lot differently than we had done them in the past. And it was quite disturbing to some of my team members because they had certain protocol that had to be followed. That before, we used to just pop into someone's office and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. But they were much more rigid on the documentation. And so I had to work with those team members to constantly remind them that they needed to use the new protocol and how to use that protocol until they got used to it. Eventually, we all did, but it does take time for people to transition and get used to new rules and procedures.
Thank you, Kellie. How will you promote Pathways participation in the district next year?
I believe that Pathways is a wonderful tool for our members. And in order for all of us to participate, and I know many of us are well onto our paths, but there are some who are sometimes resistant. And when I go visit clubs, I talk to them one-on-one to help them understand the
Thank you, Kellie. This includes a candidates showcase. Thank you, everyone, for attending. The best of luck to each of the candidates. I will pass the meeting back over to the District Director, Kristy Pedersen, for closing remarks and announcements.
Thank you so much, Valerie. We appreciate all that you've done to facilitate this. Thank you to all of our candidates. Thank you to our district council members who are watching. I just want to give a quick reminder that we're halfway through the process that you see behind me here. Those members of the district council, club presidents, VPs of education, the district executive committee, had to have pre-registered by the 26th There were a couple that snuck in, but that's it. That's all. They're all registered. We've hit quorum. The next thing we need for you to do is be there on Thursday evening, May the 4th, and watch for your email at 6 p.m. that will give you the register from Election Buddy email. That's what you'll do on your smartphone, your smart device, whatever you're using that night to vote. And that's what will confirm that you're there for quorum and be able to give you the actual Election Buddy to vote at that time. If you haven't already registered for the conference, we invite you to do that. It's a marvelous opportunity. It is hybrid. If you want to join by Zoom, please also register. So those Zoom links will be coming to you. Everything is on the District 50 website, d50tm.org. Thank you all for being here. And thank you so much, Valerie, for being our guest district director, facilitator tonight. We appreciate that. And if there's anything District 50 can do for District 30, please ask. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, Kristy.